What's up guys, Ethan here with South Boston Strength. Today we're going to be going over the Bulgarian Split Squat. It's one of my favorite leg exercises. It's a very commonly programmed exercise. We're going to touch on a couple different elements today. We're going to go over foot placement, we're going to go over torso angle, what objects you can use for the back leg to elevate, and then we'll just wrap up some general concepts about this exercise as well. So for the objects you can use, obviously a bench will work. If you have access to a Smith machine or a squat rack where you can adjust the height, if you put it at about knee height with a pad on it, that will work as well. And the best thing that you could use is a split squat rack with a rolling pin in the middle. We have one of those here, but if you don't, any other object will work. Try to make sure it's roughly at knee height. Obviously with the bench, it's going to be whatever height the bench is, but generally those will be at knee height, okay? With that, let's get into it. So setup with this exercise is going to be key. If you can go through the process of learning how to set up properly, it's going to save you a lot of time and poor quality reps in the future. So as you can see, I have my Bulgarian split squat rack right here. It's at about knee height, which I mentioned before. You're simply going to sit on whatever you're using to elevate the back foot. From there, extend the working leg straight ahead. Wherever that heel lands is where the heel will be during the reps, okay? You're gonna also move the foot a couple inches to the outside. That'll clear up a little bit of room for the biomechanics of the exercise, and it'll help out with the form just a little bit, okay? So I'll demonstrate a couple reps. Once you find that foot placement, pick up whatever you're using for weights. In this case, we have dumbbells. You're gonna elevate that back foot, and from there, you're good to go. All right, so another key piece of this exercise that I mentioned was torso angle. How much are you leaning forward? How upright should you be? And honestly, it depends on your training goal here. So whatever your trainer is trying to work, which they should communicate with you, that will dictate the forward lean, okay? So if you want to work more posterior chain or glutes, you're just going to lean forward a little bit at the hips during the exercise. And if you want to have more quad dominant effort, then you're just going to be more upright, okay? So I'll demonstrate a couple reps of either, and as I mentioned, neither one is right or wrong. They are both just variations of this exercise, and it depends on what you want to do, okay? So find your setup position, move that foot out a little bit. So the first one I will do is going to be with some forward lean. So if I want to work that glute more, I'm going to lean over that front foot and load that glute, and I can feel it right away. From there, down under control, always under control, up, and I'm really driving through the hip on this one. Driving through the hip to come up, okay? Versus, if I'm more upright, you can see what that does to the angle change at the hip and knee. It's a lot more quad dominant when I'm upright like that. Tempo is still good. Obviously at the bottom, I'll be leaning forward a little, but I'm just really focused on trying to keep my torso upright if I want to work the quads. All right, so that is the Bulgarian split squat. Let's go over what we talked about today real quick to wrap up. What do you use for an object? Really anything in the gym that's knee height. Ideally, if you have a split squat rack, you'll use that. Second, torso angle. How much forward lean should you have? Depends on what you want to work. In many cases, this is going to be a quad dominant exercise. However, it can be more posterior chain with that forward lean. Third, foot placement. This might be the most important. Make sure that you're going through that process to set up properly each time. It's going to help tremendously in the long run, and you won't really forget once you learn how to do it. All right. So with that, I will see you guys in the next one.